How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? It's UncleSamsDevil. Today I just wanted to circle back.
We can circle back. I'm happy to circle back with you. I can circle back. I will have to circle back on that one.
To one of my favorite and most played games of all time, and just discuss whether it's a game that's worth returning to in 2021, along 6 years after its release. Dying Light released on January 27th, 2015 on both PC and consoles as the first iteration in a new franchise being developed by Techland, and it quickly attracted quite a sizable and committed player base, which still avidly devotes time to the game even today. However, this doesn't necessarily mean it's worth picking up now, especially if you've never played it before. So let's take a look at what exactly Dying Light has to offer and find out whether learning about the universe and mechanics of the game is an undertaking worth anyone's time in 2021. Dying Light is an open-world, first-person horror action-adventure game with cooperative capabilities. Upon beginning the game, Dying Light quickly draws you in with its gritty, dark atmosphere and a beautiful world which somehow still holds up to the standard of gorgeous even in 2021. You quickly learn that this is not a hack-and-slash horde-slaying game where you can mindlessly kill AI, but instead a game of caution and decision-making where a misstep could be the last step that you take, especially at night. Now, the story of Dying Light isn't revolutionary or anything to write home about, but that's not to say it's bad either. It is good, but it simply isn't great, and in my opinion, it is by far the weakest and least memorable point of the game, and the root cause of the more average reviews that the game received upon its launch. The story does do a good job of introducing players to the mechanics of the game, and parts of it can definitely evoke emotion, but as a whole, it's just sort of there. The NPCs tend to look pretty good, but the voice acting, while also not bad, obviously wasn't a major focus during the game's development.
Hey, have you seen that house with the red smoke pouring out of it? If Rise's people spot it, they're gonna come knocking on his door. Someone ought to warn him.
Look, I've got enough trouble right now, but I'll think about it.
Where this game really shines is in its gameplay. This is one of those games that immerses you in its world and then wants to make sure that you understand you are not the apex predator. To get to that point is going to take some work. It's not a grind though. It's a journey, and that journey has several moving parts, from learning to craft a medkit to obtaining blueprints to create beautifully powerful weapon upgrades that do allow you to completely obliterate hordes of zombies. It's not through the story that this is done, but through a mastery of the world. Completing side quests and challenges, unlocking safe houses and Easter eggs, and using your skills to efficiently find and secure the best blueprints and upgrades in the game. That's not all. You can do this with a group of up to 4 players, allowing for all kinds of fun. Before you ask, no, there isn't friendly fire. Well, sort of. The combat in Dying Light is simple, but there's also a weightiness to it where you can feel the force behind your swings as you crush a zombie's skull. This is an area where the game excels greatly, and when it intersects with the parkour system in the game, which is often, it allows for glorious gameplay moments. The combat mechanics in the game are based around a fleshed out progression system of 3 main skill trees. The combat-specific movements are acquired from within the power skill tree, which levels up from killing enemies with different combat movements. Parkour is the foundation for movement in Dying Light, and an enormous part of what sets it apart from other games in the genre. The movement system aids in completing tasks, traversing the world, and avoiding hordes of zombies and/or volatiles. Parkour is also used in combination with combat mechanics to allow for creativity in the way you choose to kill the undead or other enemies. Abilities for parkour are typically tied to the agility skill tree. Within the base game, there is one more skill tree, the survivor tree, which allows for the crafting of tools such as the grappling hook that can help you survive as you rank up. Needless to say, there are numerous unlockable skills within these skill trees that can be obtained in several different orders and allow for variations of playstyles and methods for approaching different situations. This creates endless replayability and prevents any sense of stagnation within the game. The sound design of Dying Light is awesome and complements the gritty horror tones of the game in a way that brings the immersion factor up several notches. Whether it's the sound of slashing zombies or the ambience of the world, the sound design plays a huge role in what makes Dying Light a high-quality game. One of my personal favorite things about Dying Light is booting it up and after 6 years, still being in awe at how good the world looks and how that meshes with the high-quality zombies, which are simply the best in any game, in my opinion. The basic zombies are very well done from an artistic standpoint, as well as having great sound design, and even though there are some that are the same, it is rarely noticeable as they typically are not standing right beside each other, and they have quite a lot of detail. These undead hordes are the epitome of what you think of when someone says the word zombie. They truly are stupid, mindless things that trip over themselves and fall to their deaths quite frequently. Fortunately, Techland didn't stop at these base zombies, but also created several different types of zombies that you can see at any time, such as those who just turned, bombers, these guys, these guys, and these guys. The landscape completely changes at night, however, with a near pitch black environment and volatiles roaming the map. This is where the saying, "good night, good luck," comes into play. Though nighttime can be skipped by sleeping, sometimes it is better to do certain missions at night, and it also doubles XP gain, creating a high-risk, high-reward scenario for adrenaline junkies. Between the slums and Old Town, the amount of content within Dying Light is rarely matched today. Even better, Techland has continued to support Dying Light with enormous amounts of DLC, some minigames of sorts in the smaller ones such as Bozak Horde and Hell Raid, and an entire new map with vehicles in the following. Not to mention some of the absolutely amazing community-made additions to the game, such as City of Corlina, which I have made a video on in the past. To wrap it all up, Dying Light still has a lot to offer in 2021 and is definitely a game that everyone should experience. With Dying Light 2 just around the corner, there is no better time to jump into the world of Dying Light and become acquainted with its story, mechanics, and awesome gameplay. Alright ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be all from me for this one. If you liked this video, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe to my channel. We're almost at 1,000 subs, and I think we're going to get there really soon. I'm excited to get this show on the road for real. I'll see you guys in the next one.